looked very good in the game versus Ebro, but if Rolster are genuinely scared of Z's Malphite, then either I'm completely underestimating it, or they've got some, like, scrim-related paranoia.
I hope Malphite comes in this game somehow. I don't think it's going to. That's Aurelia. I don't think we've seen her
Okay,
yet.
so Rolster are just doubling down. This is such a late game draft already. Aurelia is unkillable if she can get to the late game. She's a monster. I expect that to go probably mid over in Ezek's hands. And then, of course, you have the Senna, which is, you are very experienced on, will be a late game champion. So Rolster have looked at games 1 and 2 and said, the problem? We didn't have enough scaling damage.
I'm expecting Nasus at any moment here as Diana is going to be the pick on through for ThunderTalk. Chris?
More likely we get a Gragas, something like that here for Salem. I expect Gragas or maybe Galio alongside this Senna.
See what they want to pick here as well. I'm going to take Azua's Varus once again.
And kind of the danger here for Rolster is that they have signaled exactly where they're going so early on in this draft that ThunderTalk just say, okay, well, we'll run back the Lee Sin for sure. And so much of that last game was determined by Chris managing to get out on the map early and determine the direction of the game. That early invade down bottom where he managed to force Luna and Salem off of the turret for actual minutes pretty much ended the game. So if Doe isn't able to contain Chris this time round, then I do expect it to be a fairly similar result. That's why this Nunu pick is actually very important.
All right, well, also Orianna there, so it does look like Rattel's going to be the one on the carry, I suppose, with Aurelia going up towards that top half of the map. Darius once again there for Fei-Bai, so it's going to be Z's Diana this time around. At least Isaac should be pretty familiar with the matchup. They're actually going to play the inverse side now, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, between Senna, Aurelia, Orianna, there is absolutely no, like, subtlety here in this draft. This draft does one thing, that is teamfight during the late game, that is do crazy amounts of damage during the late game, and most critically, Pastry, that is do nothing during the early game.
Yep, and that has, as we mentioned, been Rolster's calling card. It's just not been good enough in the 2 games so far. So they definitely have the talent, they have the ability to bring it back. They are playing to their biggest strength in order to get there, and we'll see if it works out for them.
Wow, okay, so this Senna is going to be full-on AD carry, no soul sharing, anything like that. It's going to be Rakan alongside the Senna down bottom. ThunderTalk, as stated earlier, are playing for the mid-game. They've grabbed themselves the ability to kind of open up these fights in the middle of them. Those bubbles are going to be really good at separating the tank frontline of the Nunu, of the Rakan, from the backline carries. The Rakan hypermobile needs to get underneath Darius, stop him from engaging because the CC chain here is devastating. You've got the Nami bubbles following up on Chain of Corruption, vice versa. You've got the Moonfall setting up for any of that. You've got the Abduct coming out from the Darius. All of this is terrifying engage, and that's going to be at its deadliest around the 10-minute mark, about halfway through the game, when ThunderTalk want to hit the gas pedal and just shut this scaling Senna, Aurelia, Orianna out of the game.
I actually really like the Nami again. It's kind of similar to the Darius ribbon they ran in the other game, where I felt like Nami was able to open up, you know, the front to back that Rolster always want to run. So it seems a little weird because it doesn't immediately pair with Varus necessarily, and it doesn't feel like it fits into this comp that wants to dive at you, but picking it apart a little bit more, I was like, oh yeah, Nami actually does a very good job of enabling these melee champions.
Yeah, and you see a lot of Nami used to be very popular in the compositions alongside Twisted Fate, but Varus Nami, for instance, is incredibly popular. And if you have the Varus Nami, then you really want the Darius, because the Darius is the character that can follow up best on single targets that are stunned or bubbled or what have you.
We'll see what happens here. As once again, ThunderTalk.
Match point!
We're looking for a sweep. They got 3 chances to get themselves to the final. They look like they're only going to need this one game though, TJ. We'll see if Rolster can kind of find the form that gave them success so far in the tournament. They've been up against the brick wall so far against ThunderTalk, but if there was ever a game to rally here, it certainly is this one. This is the Rolster. You either love it or you hate it, but this is who they are, TJ.
The pride and joy of the WCK, the best team in Korea. Korea, a region with forever high expectations in League of Legends esports. And now it comes down to this. They are one game away from elimination as ThunderTalk, a team that did not even know their roster coming into this tournament, have managed to slap them around in games 1 and 2.
All right, well, I don't know how long this will last, but there's 2 solo laners in the mid lane right now. That's 1 too many by my count, TJ, but just trying to give Z a little bit of pressure here as Ratel's going to now leave and go towards the top lane. Feibai is waiting in the shrubbery for him.
And I would like to clarify something I got wrong in draft. I said, you know, I do expect the Irelia to go mid. That's insane. They have Ratel on their team.
Yep.
They're going to give the hard scaling, hard carry champion over to Ratel. And yeah, Ezek's going to play a little more passively. That's why they XP share, gold share during the opening moments of the game. Because Ezek isn't expected to be the carry. He's going to show up in late game team fights, provide some support, provide some damage. But the main goal here is to enable Ratel. It's Ratel's Irelia that will dominate this game if Rolster's game plan goes to that plan.
Right, so I do like that. You already saw Ratel hit level 2, get some trades early on, so definitely set up here to have a good matchup. We'll see if Doe, in particular, can find his way up there on the Nunu. That was a big feature of the last Nunu game we saw in this series, where ThunderTalk was just having Chris constantly hammer in the mid lane. And I have to say, you mentioned it kind of off air, and I think it is worth repeating. Chris quietly having an incredible series here.
Yeah, Chris has been able to completely shut down Doe in the 1v1s in the jungle, and a lot of that has been Doe on the Graves, I think, looking profoundly uncomfortable. He's not looked like he knows how to play that hard carry style of character. We've seen it a couple times. It's kind of the darker gaming effect, where teams are like, hey, what if we just gave our jungler a ton of gold? And the answer is, unless your jungler is built for that, unless that is the playstyle, what on earth is this?
Doe is getting in there. Feibai, yeah, did not want to get snared up there by the Nunu, so does flash away.
And unless your jungler is built for that, you're going to have trouble. What Rolster are used to doing with Doe is getting him into the side lane early, boosting Ratel ahead. And we see a return to that form. Ratel did not manage to grab any of the damage. Oh my.
Feibai in trouble. There's the first kill. That's great for Ratel. And we did see the dive attempt, but Chris didn't nab Isaac.
And where I was going with that is Ratel actually stole away some jungle camps with Doe as well, so this is a pretty massive gold swing over for Rolster as they managed to kill an entire top wave against the turret, find a solo kill on the top laner, and steal away jungle camps. This is easily the best start to a game that Rolster have had this series.
Right, and you know, if we talk about Z, especially when he gets ahead early, being so good, now it's Ratel's time to show with a similar league what can he get done. Oh, that's just wonderful. Level 3 to level 5, Ratel just absolutely demolishes him there with the flash ulti.
And that's the game plan for Rolster. They have tired of trying to face Z in mid, and they are focusing their attention elsewhere. This game is Ratel's now to win or lose. Luna on that Senna is going to be weak side. You're not going to see too much attention down bottom. You're not going to see too much attention on an Orianna mid. He's supposed to take care of himself. This game is all about Irelia. It's all about Ratel.
All right, we'll see how Ratel does as the game goes on, because the proactivity is still here for ThunderTalk. Remember, yes, there is scaling in the roster comp. Yes, Ratel is going to be accelerated, which is perfect for this kind of comp.
Chris looking for a steal.
Very, very pretty there.
He gets it.
Very nice. Very smooth, that'll lead.
Managing to steal away Doe's jungle, even as he's trying, I think, to hand it over to Ratel. And Chris kind of undoes what was just done to him in the top side. Vertical jungling, whilst Rolster in that part of the jungle, Pastry.
Yeah, it's definitely not a steal you expect, but that's one they'll take as the objectives have spawned. As you mentioned, Rolster have never seen the dragon in their life.
Oh, they might be about to see one for the very first time. Unsure what to do. Rolster do send their jungler Doe up to start that Rift Herald, and so no, they will not see a dragon today for the first time.
Don't be fooled. They have a ward outside the pit. It's an illusion as Chris is going to go ahead and take down this dragon. A little bit of help out of Z. Doesn't really need it, but he'll take it. And for the first time, we're actually going to split these objectives at 4 minutes.
I cannot describe to you how angry I would have been if the very first Drake that Rolster fought over in their competitive career was
a Cloud Drake. If you didn't fight for the 2 Infernals, what are you doing? As Chris is down here helping C out with his tower.
Shockwave setup.
Very nice out of Salem. Finds 2 after the quickness. Knockup's there, but Z's going to try and turn around. Now it's escape time out of the pair. As Isaac flashes in, looks for the Shockwave. Z gets tagged on the very end. The flash is not enough as Isaac gets the kill.
A kill to Rolster in the bottom lane. They're second of the game, and they're entering the 5-minute mark with a gold lead against ThunderTalk and a late game scaling composition.
Right, we already talked about, this is, a Rolster comp through and through. They are going to have to go late. This is a dream for them. Not only do they have the late game comp and they're not behind, but they're ahead.
And Chris starts this with Z, trying to do the same thing they did during game number 2. Absolutely shutting down the bottom lane by burning down the turret early.
And that's a beautiful engage out of Salem, and just an easy chase. Z tried everything to get out of this, and that was just nothing as Izak had every angle covered.
Boop. Very easy stuff for an Orianna as she scales up, and Isaac will only continue to do so. You see that Archangel's staff completed down bottom. Once you hit second item, Orianna damage truly becomes terrifying.
And we saw out of Z last game, that was definitely a hard carry Orianna performance. We've seen his, I'm figuring it out. I don't play mages as much anymore in the early games of the tournament. And now he's definitely evolved into full and hard carries. Rattel is also in the same boat. 2v2, yeah. It's not really a 2v2 though.
No, because both teams are thinking about sending their entire team to the top side.
I was going to say, because one team has a Nunu and Favor can't do anything, but that works too.
Azura was thinking about roaming up, but Luna and Salem hitting the NOS, as you like to say, accelerating up there on the center. Really slow things down. I'm going to let you have your Senna minute here. The Muramana has been built for Luna. So once that edges towards completion, typically around the second lethality item for a Senna build like this, you can start seeing real damage coming out of Luna, which is critical in these team fights. Senna very good if she can sit uncontested in the back.
Chris trying to make it happen. He does find the angle, very nice. As Azura does indeed find the ulti, as you mentioned, it's the trade back and forth. But there's one kill, can they make it two? That's the triple as Doe is going to get the snowball rolling. Rattel's going to have to save this. Ulti at the ready, flashes in. Fabai is going to sacrifice himself, perhaps indeed he must, as Rattel gets the kill.
2 for 3, a net loss for Rolster, but they get gold onto Rattel, and you must ask yourself, is that maybe worth it?
Feels like it is. Gold going in the right places, but it's the same story for ThunderTalk. They've actually got the gold lead now, because Z got all that money in the bottom lane.
They've got the gold lead with that turret takedown bottom, but this is the point at which they need to be relaxing into it. So the gold lead needs to go back to base, get bought up, and come back out to fight.
All right, well, let's just one again here in the Axe replay. ThunderTalk, again, doesn't matter the situation, they are sending it.
Chain of Corruption lands, and that's a very easy kill to find. ThunderTalk pressing forward using Azure. What's remarkable here is that Luna manages to find the kill in the midst of all that. They shut down Chris, actually, wow, Salem getting the credit for it. And that means that this entire trade goes all right for them, because every moment that Chris is dead, that Lee Sin falls further and further behind. So Rolster get 2 benefits out of that. Not only does Rattel get bigger, but Chris gets noticeably smaller.
That was so nice out of Doe. Gets the interrupt there.
Wow, everything misses for ThunderTalk.
That's not what they want to see. Doe, again, playing goalie very nicely. The rest of the team here, Rattel looking to move in. The quickness pop, send ulti over the top, and Rattel starting to pop up in the team fight. That's 2 already.
Rolster, a clean team fight, beat everything out of ThunderTalk, and then walk forward. A clean team fight gets them a gold lead back in their control at the 8-minute mark of this game.
And they found the dragon. Up in gold, they're gonna grab the Drake finally. Get some objectives on their hands. Haven't got it all series long as Salem's getting soloed by Z. Nami's here as well. Salem's left for dead. Here comes Izak though. Shockwave not up just yet. The Rift Tower also being taken. It's a bit awkward as Rattel is the one they do not want to feed more gold over to. ThunderTalk are trying to finish it, and that might be a bit too greedy.
He's gone!
Indeed it is for the Lee Sin, but ThunderTalk get away at least to get the Herald.
Chris just got deleted in an instant. Rattel's coming online.
And this is what we wanted to see. We wanted a series. Rattel is the one to lead the charge here for Rolster. Sub 10 minutes, but they are ramping up very rapidly here in this game.
And as Rattel starts to do damage, you have to shake in your very comfortable chairs if you're ThunderTalk on the opposite side of this stage. Because everything that Aurelia does in the late game is almost uncounterable by what ThunderTalk have to bear. They have such a squishy backline, it's really all going to be on Fabai to try and hold the line. Because if Rattel gains access to Azor, gains access to S12K, they are going to snap like twigs.
Here comes Z, trying to make this solo first again. Oh, Salem as Z goes over the top. Chris is here as well, Salem with the proto-bout kick. Q, Salem with the quickness, the rest of the team is here. Center ulti to protect, 2v3 now as Z's gonna dive back in, finds a decent moonfall. Stasis is down, back goes Chris. They're dancing in, there's just so much mobility. Salem just zoned out, they're gonna take him out as the tidal wave is good, and now the rest of ThunderTalk have arrived, but here's Fertel. Great bubble there out of S12K, but they can't kill the Aurelia, and that is a critical error. Out of the rest of ThunderTalk as Luna finds the lock on Fertel. It's trying to go up, but that's not it. It's S12K that gets that kill.
And with the shutdown, instantly, ThunderTalk slapped down the Rift Herald, and they're going to try and bully Luna out from behind this turret and grow the gold lead. They fight around their power spike. They fight around the Muramana completion for Azure, and they step forward into a 3v5 where they know they can force an advantage. Rolster get over-aggressive. Their damage is not in those three players. They didn't have it with Isaac, and Rattel, when he tries to contest, is already down 2 players and can't properly fight.
And look at the gold. I wouldn't have it any other way, TJ. It is 10K apiece. Z versus Rattel. On the one side, it is the man on the doorstep of destiny looking to drag ThunderTalk into the finals. And on the other side, Rolster treading water, trying to stay alive with Rattel.
And it really does all depend on those 2 players in this game. It is going to be decided by the star performances of Z and Rattel as Rolster step forward, even on gold, only 2,000 behind in a mid-game that ThunderTalk are oh so scary enduring.
Yep, they've got the gold lead, but it's not a big one, and we know that KT can hold.
Look at the top side as that wave gets shoved in. This is going to be a turret cracked by Feibai. He gets most of the damage on it. The minions might take it.
Rattel has to know something's up. Here's Chris. Stun's gonna miss, and that's just too easy. There's the kick. There's the Cuba Rattel. He's found his way out of there, and now Rolster is gonna move in. The tidal wave there is not gonna save Z. Z's left for dead. Rattel is low, but Z just can't find the angle. Rattel, with the respect, is gonna stay away, and now he goes back in for the kill. The stasis is there. The stun misses, but it doesn't matter as Izak finishes off Z.
They give so much respect over to Z, taking their time, escorting that snowball in under the cover of Senna's Shroud so that they can properly chain him down. They do not dare step forward into Z. And with Rolster giving that respect over, they are finally able to take down the star player, the carry over on ThunderTalk, and bring this game back in their control, with Rattel continuing to snowball his lead.
And again, ThunderTalk still have the goal lead, but it's not a massive one. It just feels like KT are comfy here. You have to get very far ahead of this comp to really hammer it home.
You do have Isaac completing his staff right now. Ludenzeko's second item on the board. He's going to be doing some serious damage now as this backline Orianna lives through these team fights. And for the first time, Rolster are looking for fights. They're stepping up.
This Drake is very, very important. In fact, this Drake might just be the series, depending on who nabs it.
It may decide Rolster's tournament lives here in the Horizon Cup. Rolster, I think their entire time here at Horizon, their entire time here in Singapore, comes down to a single team fight around this Infernal Drake.
It's going to be a fight for it. Rattel's going to get the crab. Rolster know they have to tread carefully here, but they are going to have to do this. And ThunderTalk are going to challenge them.
Rattel and Doe baiting, trying to force Z to step forward. They spot him on a ward and break off, instantly chasing him, separating him from the team. Can he get away?
Once again, oh, he's found a way out. Z's just running away. Now Salem's trying to chase him, but there's a 4v4 maybe on the other side of it.
Chris started the Drake. He's burning it down. He has to break away. He has to leave it. Drake will reset, and Rattel's back on it.
He's back as well. I fear for Salem's life right now, but Izak's going to move back in and try and protect him. The Drake is getting zoned away here. ThunderTalk just want a way in.
Rolster's entire tournament resting on this boxing match around the Infernal Drake, as Z constantly tries to find a flank, and every time they seem to chase him away, the rest of ThunderTalk move into the gap created by it. Now they step forward again to take control of the river. Oh, and they lapped it!
Chain Corruption, Z has found the carry! Luna's gonna get assassinated! It's Nami that actually collects it! And there's the disengagement. Now Feibai pulls Doe back in, who's forced to flash away. Great shockwave out of Izak, but it's only in defense.
And that means Rolster have to back away. They cannot fight into this Infernal Drake any longer. With Luna down, they're missing so much of their damage. And ThunderTalk have managed to earn themselves a massive damage advantage for the rest of this game.
And if you want to look at how good a player Z is, Don't look at his mechanics, they're amazing. Don't look at his champion pool, it's quite impressive. Don't look at the role swap. Just look at what he did to Rolster. He ran them around the rift to get his team that Drake.
Single-handedly preventing Rolster from stepping forward against that Drake. Every time they felt comfortable, he would poke his head out of the bush. Not so much from his engage, but the threat of his engage. They couldn't start the Drake until finally they say, okay, well, we have to start forcing things, and that's when he strikes. The second they decide he's not worth chasing, he's back into Luna, shutting down the key carry for Rolster that they are so determined to protect.
Respect is earned. Boy, has he earned it in this series from Rolster, who are starting to group up. Rattel again, still definitely the ace here for KT. Gonna start to really power up in the late game. The Wit's End is almost done. It's getting spooky out here. I know Halloween's been kind of long over at this point, TJ, but this is tense for Rolster. This is it. They have to win every game from this point, including this one.
They have to win every team fight, and they found one.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Shockwave.
Z's just diving the enemy team. He is going to go into stasis. I don't think the team could save him. Salem with a beautiful engage on the other side, but Z's actually got himself out. Azua's got the kill. Go with the absolute zero. He's going to get absolutely nothing done on the damage front. But now Azua's running away. Rattel is way too late.
All of ThunderTalk very low, trying to escape now. Can Azua build the distance?
Yes, apparently, even though Doe finds a snowball.
And that means Rattel burns TP to get into the fight. Rolster lose two of their players, and ThunderTalk get a kill underneath the turret onto Z. Here's Rattel looking for the 1v1 we've hyped up so much.
Z's just chilling, not wanting to face Jack. Z's Rattel, can't see the rest of Rolster. Fancies a go, throws that at Q, but goes straight back to recalling.
Both of these players understand that they are their entire team's game plan, and do not take the risk.
All right, well, the Baron is alive. The Elder isn't up for a while, but it's going to be on the table here. ThunderTalk with 2-1 as far as that objective goes. And the items just keep on coming through. I mean, every time I look down, the gold stacks for Rattel and Z just grow bigger at equal paces here in this game.
That is a little worrying for ThunderTalk, because you are, again, talking about a Rolster composition that scales very well into the late game. Aurelia in particular is very scary.
Good flash out of Faber. Rattel, though, didn't have to commit the ulti. It's F12K caught out of position, taken out by Luna. That opens up the 4v5.
Yeah, Nami, a huge presence in the team fight. That opens up Rolster forcing something here. They're going to try and poke away at this Baron, see if they can get ThunderTalk to make a mistake.
Nothing to trade for ThunderTalk, so they have to trade carefully. Rattel going to show on the top wave here. Salem, I would be very worried, does get out of there. Chris going to bait out a W at least.
Z. Watch this flank from Z. He's buried himself inside the Rolster jungle. They're cutting off the Rolster retreat, trying to gain access again to Luna, again to Isaac. Z trying to weave his way through the entire team.
Defensive chain of corruption. Luna's going to go in for it, looks for the rune on Azua, doesn't quite get it. But the assassination on the other side for Chris and Z. It's finally going to join the fight. It's the 3v5. Z's diving in. It's 1v4. Into stasis he goes. Z, can he find a miracle here as Chris is going to go back in? Z's taking out Luna. Rattel is busy fighting Faye-Bai. But Z goes down. That went wrong for ThunderTalk.
And Rolster have won a massive team fight in the mid-game. 18 minutes towards the late game now, as yet again, inevitably, KT Rolster arrive at their late game team fights and start delivering.
Rattel gets a stun, but he doesn't go in. There's 17 seconds until the Elder is up.
Elder in 14 seconds. Baron up on the map. Do Rolster manage to lock anything down? They're going to have a player advantage for this Elder Dragon in Game 3 with their backs up against the wall. One game away from elimination.
Chris is here. Can he find the steal? Everyone's dead. They're going to have to go now. Chris is getting spotted. Great ball placement there out of Isaac. But they're just going for the steal. They get the tidal wave. They're trying to buy time. Azua can't make it. This is Chris against the world. Gets himself shockwave there. Salem with the engage. Stasis gone. That should be the dragon. But maybe they can find a way back in. Chris, he's going for the steal. He does not get it. Oh my, no, he didn't. Okay, Rolster got it. We're all good.
Rolster secure the Elder, and just like that, they may have secured themselves another chance in this semi-final as they win game number 3 by tiny little scraps and skirmishes. Team fight after team fight bends slowly their way, and now exactly 20 minutes into this game 3, their composition has arrived.
We talked about it, TJ. We've talked about the inevitability of KT once they get to the late game, and not a single game this series has gone to 20 minutes. that has all changed, and now we are very much in KT's territory.
We're in the Rolster zone now, baby. And ThunderTalk need to find a way out.
Well, Z's a pretty good magician.
Here's GA.
We'll see if Rattel can get his way out of this one. Oh my god, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fei Bai. He can't do anything. Rattel didn't even lose the first life. As now Doe has found Azua. Luna's locked him up forever. And that status is, just a bit of showmanship. Because that GA is going to die. And then Azua's going to die for real. Oh, he flashed out. He's trying to make it fancy. But he's going to get shut down by Isaac.
And Rolster now march forward with 40 seconds on some of these respawns. Plenty of time in the bank to try and secure themselves game 3. A step away from elimination.
And Chris finds the kick on Rattel. Not far enough to the fountain. Rattel just does not care.
They've done it.
That's it. Rolster are going to give us at least one more game here. ThunderTalk, it's not going to be so easy here as Chris is trying to just make it all happen, but that's just nothing. And Rolster do the one thing they're not always that good at doing, TJ. They rush